sweetheart. How are you?
Doing good, you?
I am tired.
I know you are.
Okay, so what are we doing today?
We are on episode 10
Um,
of Rainy City Murders.
okay. Now, before we start, we have to give an update.
Oh, so for those of you who know about Kevin Coe and been following that, he was released. He was released. He was supposed to live in Federal Way and then ended up moving onto tribal land here in Auburn,
Which is where we live.
which is where we live. He was recently kicked out of the city.
Yes. He's now back in Federal Way, a block from a elementary school, and people are losing their minds.
Yeah. He was original on tribal land without consulting, and he was just sent here, and the city wasn't consulted. No one was. So you can say what you want about our mayor, because like there's a lot of
Negative things about our
her,
mayor, 'cause
and she's handled a lot of things questionably.
yes,
But I do give her credit for this taking action and as quickly as she did.
yes, she published the letter to the city of Auburn saying, listen,
I didn't hear this.
nobody discussed this with me. Nobody said anything to me.
And she recognizes, that he needs a place to go, that he's done, they have to follow this. But they were never, with us not being notified, there was no way for them to get a safety plan in place for the city.
No,
and for the people around him.
When he was here, they checked on him. It wasn't like they just moved him in. But because of all the power that the Muckleshoot tribe has,
because he was on their land,
he was booted.
He was on their land.
Yeah, I mean, they own the racetrack here. They own the casino here. They own the amphitheater here.
Yeah, they own a good portion of this city.
Yes.
So you're gonna do what they want.
Yes.
And they had no interest in him being here.
No. So now he's back in Federal Way. We could give you the exact address because they posted it everywhere.
They published it everywhere.
Yes. And this man, everybody wants him to go back to McNeil Island.
Yeah, no city wants him.
Nobody wants him.
Spanaway didn't want him. Federal Way didn't want him. Auburn doesn't want him. Federal Way, once again, does not want him.
No. So I don't know what they're going to do. And I don't understand why his family just doesn't take him and deal with it.
I think because of his health, I think he is at that level where he needs like 24/7 care.
Yeah.
So they claim. I can't say anything because we don't have his medical records, but kind of questionable.
Well, they said he was in a wheelchair and then he walked to the hearing.
Walked in and out of that hearing, no problem.
No problem.
So it is what it is, but that is the newest update with that.
Yeah. So, I said to Peyton, I go, we definitely need to cover this.
Yeah. So, episode 10.
Okay, so what are we discussing today?
Jake Bird. And I am taking you back to 1947.
Oh my God. Bird. B-I-R-D. Okay.
Jake Bird.
Is he gone? Is he the suspect?
Yes.
Okay, he's the suspect.
He is the suspect. And I will actually explain why.
Why he's the suspect?
No, we'll get into that. We'll get into what he's done. But I will explain the significance of his case at the end. Because the significance really didn't come about until 1991.
Okay.
And it was a couple of criminologists who were reviewing his case.
50 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they made a couple comments about it, saying essentially that his case pivoted how they profile.
Okay.
So, 1947. So we're going to... Oh, hey, I could have got my Halloween episode here.
Okay.
It's October 30th.
Okay.
October 30th, 1947 at 2:30 a.m.
Okay.
We are at the home of Bertha Kludt.
Okay.
Kludt.
Okay.
Cold. I don't know how to pronounce that. Kludt.
K.
Kludt.
Klude.
because the first thing that came to my mind was see you next Tuesday.
Oh my God.
So we got Bertha Clued and her daughter Beverly June. Their home was broken into by an intruder brandishing an axe. When Bertha tried to pull out a weapon, the perpetrator hacked her to death. Beverly was then murdered in the same fashion when she came downstairs to confront her mother's killer.
Okay. Next time somebody comes in to kill me, stay in your room.
I'm releasing the dogs
loose.
I'm releasing Ruby.
Yes.
Ruby's vicious and she's springy.
Yes.
So 2 police officers so this is in Tacoma. Sorry.
Okay.
We're in Tacoma in 1947. I'm so sorry. 2 police officers sent to the Tacoma residence to investigate reports of screams from inside saw a man run out of the back door and crash through a picket fence. The 2 patrolmen, officers Andrew P. Savutis and Evan Skip Davies, immediately gave chase.
Okay.
So after scaling several more backyard fences, the fugitive was finally stopped by a high fence and cornered an alley behind 2122 South J Street. Bird was the one who was arrested. So they assume this was him. You kind of have to after you're giving chase to somebody.
Yeah, that you saw it go out the back door. Yes.
So Bird pulled out a jackknife and proceeded to attack the officers. Davies' hand got cut and Sabutis was stabbed in the shoulder. Officer Sabutis, it's Sabutis, a former prize fighter known as Tiny Lamar, subdued the assailant with a left hook to the jaw and a kick in the groin.
I've taught my girls about kicking in the groin. It's stab in the eyes, stab in the throat, and kick them in the nuts.
Sing from Miss Congeniality.
Yes. It's kick them in the nuts. And the little girls out there, use your lunchbox.
That's what Jenna did.
That's what my daughter did.
And she also used a bag of water bottles. You remember that one?
Yes.
I think you were doing almost spit take there.
Wow. So now that we're done laughing about murder victims,
technically this was an officer subduing the victim,
yes,
the suspect.
It was very funny that he kicked him in the nuts.
So after the fight, Bird was taken to Tacoma General Hospital by Officer John Hickey in a patrol wagon, where he received treatment for head and face lacerations. Sabatis was admitted to St. Joseph's Hospital with a severe back wound, and Davies had the cuts on his hands stitched and bandaged there.
Yes. St. Joseph's still here.
Mm-hmm. So when police entered the residence, they found Bertha, age 52, dead in her bedroom, which was adjacent to the kitchen, and the body of her daughter Beverly, age 17, on the kitchen floor.
Okay.
Both women had been bludgeoned to death with an axe, which had been left at the scene. Detective Lieutenant Earl Cornelson determined that an attempt had been made to sexually assault Bertha before she was initially slain. They believe Beverly heard her mother's screams and dashed from her upstairs bedroom into the kitchen, where she encountered the assailant and was murdered.
Yeah.
So,
let me die. Don't come and save me.
Unless I can get to one of the guns.
Yeah.
I also have elephants right behind me. That big one up there would really hurt.
Yeah. If he was swinging an axe,
I can bludgeon him with. I can get him first.
Yeah.
There's a couple items I can throw first.
Yeah.
I think I still have throwing stars.
That
ladder.
Not only the ladder, but that deadly lamp.
I mean, also I have access to the bedroom that has all the tools and stuff in it.
Yes.
So I have options here.
Yes, you do.
Ruby will be a distraction enough.
Yes.
So Jake Bird was the man who was captured. He was a 45-year-old transient who had a lengthy criminal record, including burglaries, assaults, attempted murder, and murder.
What was he doing out if he had murder convictions?
It was 1947.
Oh my God. People, if you kill somebody, I hope you go to jail for life.
Bird estimated he had served about 15 years across various prisons for his crimes. Only 15 years.
He probably murdered his wife.
He was born in Louisiana and left home when he was 19 years old. Over the years, he never stayed in one place for long. He preferred being an itinerant worker. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Often he opted to work with the railroad as a section gang laborer, which allowed him to earn money and keep moving from town to town.
Okay.
Which is also how, wasn't the train killers in Texas?
Yes.
Was a very famous one. It was
where he rode the train.
The railroads, yeah. So it was an occupation that lent... My phone's on Do Not Disturb. Why are they disturbing me? So it was an occupation that lent itself quite well to his avocation, stalking and murdering women in the towns he visited. Bird was interrogated by Detective Lieutenant Sherman W. Loynes at the Tacoma City Jail, where he dictated and signed a confession in the presence of 4 police officers. Where he his confession stated, okay, so keep in mind, 1947, Jake Bird's black.
Uh-oh. And the officers were white.
And Bertha and Beverly were white women.
Oh, no. Not...
So his
and they're positive he's the guy that went out of the back of the house. Well, he confessed, but
1947, there's nothing to say that they didn't.
And they're positive he's the one who came out of the house. But they're not sure. They could have been chasing some black man through the yards.
Yes.
Okay. That I don't like.
His confession stated that he entered the residence through the unlocked back door to commit a quote-unquote easy burglary. He brought along an axe that he found in a nearby shed to bluff out anyone who tried to bother me. Removing his shoes, Bird snuck into Bertha's bedroom and stole $1.50 from her purse. When he returned to the kitchen, he turned around and found Bertha standing behind him. He told her that he only wanted her money and his shoes, and then he would leave. But then suddenly, Beverly grabbed him from behind and a fierce struggle ensued, resulting in the deaths of the 2 women. Bird added that he thought the policemen would shoot him when they had him cornered in the bushes, so he attacked them with his knife. So on Friday, October 31st, 1947, so the next day.
Okay.
Deputy Prosecutor Earl D. Mann charged Jake Bird in Pierce County Superior Court with first-degree murder, but only in the death of Bertha. It was customary to file only one charge in multiple homicides where failure to obtain a conviction on the first offense will allow the filing of an additional murder charges. Okay. Which actually makes sense.
It does.
It's why sometimes they don't always want co-defendants, because they want to do a test run on one.
If they're,
they have to change their
tactics.
Mm-hmm. Damn it. He was being so cute. Max had his head resting on my box.
Oh.
So, Judge Edward D. Hodge appointed James W. Selden, a former Pierce County prosecutor, as his defense counsel. At his arraignment, Bird pleaded not guilty and the trial was set for Monday, November 24th, 1947. At a motion hearing on November 14th, 1947, defense attorney Selden requested a change of venue, stating Bird could not get a fair trial in Pierce County. He also asked to be relieved as Bird's attorney, informing the court that Bird wanted to represent himself. Judge,
Do not represent yourself, idiots.
Judge,
even if you're an attorney, do not represent yourself.
Judge Hodge denied both requests.
Yes.
So, trial began on schedule in the Pierce County Courthouse before Judge Hodge, but was slowed by jury selection. Questioning of the prospective jurors revolved around their impressions of the crime gained from the news media and whether Jake Bird, a black man, could get a fair trial. 4 jurors were excused when it was learned that they had recently served on another first-degree murder trial in which the defendant was convicted and sentenced to hang.
So they were still hanging people?
In 1947, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have the case that changed that, caused us to go to lethal injection.
Okay.
That was the case I want to do next after this one.
Okay.
Which we can film next week.
Okay.
So by the end of the day, a jury of 9 men and 3 women was selected, and court was recessed until 9 a.m. the next morning.
Were any of them black?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so it's an all-white jury.
Because it's 1947.
All white people.
1947, even though Washington was pretty advanced for their time.
Okay.
They were.
With white victims and all white cops.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Pierce County, Tacoma.
In Pierce County,
and Tacoma.
Yes.
Wasn't even like a tribal land situation where he probably could have gotten a more fair trial with the tribes. So trial proceeded at a rapid pace and was concluded in just 1.5 days of testimony.
Oh no, he's guilty. They're gonna find him guilty.
Prosecuting attorney Patrick M. Steele's strategy was to prove that the death of Bertha was premeditated, thereby qualifying the defendant for the death penalty. Weighing heavily in the trial was evidence regarding the wanton murder of 17-year-old Beverly, who was bludgeoned to death in the kitchen when she came to her mother's defense. Blood and brain tissue from both victims were found on Bird's clothing. His bloody fingerprints were found in the house and on the axe, and his shoes were found at the murder scene. The state introduced a surprise witness. Tacoma police officer John Hickey, who testified that he and Officer Russell Scatton gave Bird a beating while he was in their custody.
What?
Yep. Hickey said, "I regret to say that I lost my temper after returning from the Clud house and reviewing the terribly hacked bodies of the 2 women. I had asked Bird as we sat in the patrol wagon why he murdered the 2 women. He said he didn't do it. I asked him who did it then, and he said it was Leroy. Who's Leroy? I asked him. Oh, another black man around town, Bird replied. You're lying, I replied, and he looked at me with a smug and insolent look. I know I shouldn't have done it, but I hit him in the jaw with my fist, knocking him to the front of the patrol wagon. Then I struck him a number of times with my nightstick until he said, don't kill me. That brought me to my senses, and we took him to the hospital where a nurse said he wasn't badly hurt."
Okay. So, white police officers, white victims, a black man, and you beat him.
And he didn't get in trouble.
And he didn't get fired.
Nope.
He didn't get reprimanded.
Nope.
The man did not sue them and get any money. What fucking idiot are you?
Mm-hmm. So later, when Prosecutor Steele moved to enter Bird's signed confession into the evidence, defense attorney Selden strenuously objected, declaring it had been obtained under duress and therefore inadmissible. But Judge Hodge disagreed, ruling there was no relationship between the beating and Bird's voluntary confessions and admitted it into evidence. It's also a white judge. So,
and the beating had nothing to do with the coerced
confession.
Yeah. Am I the only one who thinks this is all coerced?
Oh, I do.
Oh my God.
I mean, I do in the moment. Just wait until it gets a little further. Okay. So despite continued strenuous objections by Selden, the confession was read into the record. Then the prosecution rested its case. Defense attorney Selden rested the defense without calling Bird or any other witnesses to the stand.
He didn't call anybody?
Nope.
No rebuttal witnesses?
Nope.
His guy didn't want to testify? Nothing. Okay.
Closing arguments began on Wednesday morning, November 26, 1947, and the case went to the jury at noon. After deliberating for only 35 minutes, the jury returned its verdict. Bird was found guilty of first-degree murder, and the jury voted to impose the death penalty.
Of course they did.
Bird, who had been impassive throughout the trial, sat Unmoved as Judge Hodge read the verdict, on his way back to Pierce County Jail, Byrd asked the 5 deputy sheriffs guarding him, "What's all the excitement about?" So I also wonder if he was also maybe mentally handicapped at the same time.
Yes.
So on Saturday, December 6, 1947, Judge Hodge sentenced Byrd to be hanged in the gallows at the Washington State Penitentiary on January 16, 1948. Did you know that we only disassembled our gallows in 2003?
Wow.
Even though we hadn't hung anyone for quite a bit.
Wow.
It was us in Delaware. We were the only ones with active working gallows until 2003, 2006.
Well, I remember there was who was it that chose to be done by
Firing Squad?
Firing Squad. It was Gary something. I want to say it was in Utah.
I thought it was Colorado. It was one of the two. I know which one you're talking about. I think I might have it.
Okay. But so, yeah, it wasn't I mean, it was long ago, but it wasn't that long ago. I mean,
it surprised everyone still.
Yeah, because you chose it. And he could have died by something else.
I think it was injection. I think it was right when we had the lethal injection introduced.
Yes, but he chose to die by firing squad.
So, after a motion for a new trial was denied by Judge Hodge, defense attorney Selden told the court he had done everything in his power to defend Byrd and that no further appeals would be made on Byrd's behalf. Then Selden declared, I feel whenever any man 45 years old gets an idea that no lives are safe to anyone except his own, that man is detriment to society and should be obliterated."
Who said that?
His defense attorney.
Oh my God.
His white defense attorney.
Okay.
So when Judge Hodge asked Byrd for comment, he declared, I was given no chance to defend myself. My own lawyers just asked you to hang me. They apologized for defending me. If they were so reluctant to defend me, why did they contest the prosecutor's proof of murder and now say that everything is proven? At the end of his 20-minute impassioned speech, Byrd declared, all you guys who had anything to do with this case are going to die before I do. That comes back in.
I bet.
So, on Sunday, December 7th, 1947, Pierce County Under Sheriff Joseph E. Carpich and Deputy Michael Waverick. Can we just get normal names again, please?
Yeah.
Took Byrd in a patrol wagon to the Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla to await his execution. Shortly after his arrival, Byrd began confessing to his involvement in a dozen murders that took place over a span of 20 years.
Started confessing? Of course he's still going to be alive because they're going to want him.
Mm-hmm. So on January 6, 1948, at the request of Governor Monrad Charles Walgren, Pierce County Prosecutor Patrick Steele and Tacoma Police Detective Lieutenant Sherman Loynes went to the penitentiary to listen to the confessions. In an obvious bid for a reprieve, Byrd offered to them more to clear his conscience. Steele told the press, "We want to give him a chance to tell it, but we don't intend to permit him to use what he might have withheld as a means to add a few days to his life." Over the next several days, Steele and Loynes took voluminous notes on Byrd's statements, which they compiled into a 174-page report for the governor's office.
Oh my God.
So on January 15th, 1948, so we're in the new year.
Yeah.
Byrd finally won a 60-day reprieve from Governor Walgren by claiming that given time, he could, quote-unquote, clear up at least 44 murders that he either committed or participated in during his travels throughout the country.
That's going to be hard to...
His confessions brought like a train of investigators from across the nation to interview him at the state penitentiary. Of these 44 confessed, only 11 were substantiated. But Byrd had more than enough knowledge about the others to be the prime suspect.
Okay.
Police from several states took the opportunity to close the books on many of their unsolved murders. In his travels, Byrd had murdered people, mostly women, in Illinois, Kentucky, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, South Dakota, Ohio, Florida, Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, and Washington.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So meanwhile, doing all this, Byrd appealed his conviction to the Washington State Supreme Court. He personally argued his case before the Supreme Court justices, stating that Judge Hodge had several judicial errors and demanded a new trial. On November 30, 1948, his final petition to the state for a retrial was denied. On December 3rd, 1948, Judge Hugh J. Rossellini signed another death warrant, ordering Byrd to be hanged on January 14, 1949. Byrd's attorney, Murray Taggart of Walla Walla, immediately moved for a stay of execution to permit the filing of appeal to the U.S. Court of Appeals.
Okay.
The motion was granted on the condition the court agreed to review the case.
Okay.
So, when the U.S. Court of Appeals refused to review the case, Judge Rossellini set Byrd's execution for July 15, 1949. Attorney Taggart requested another stay of execution to permit the filing of an appeal with the United States Supreme Court, but the motion was denied.
Okay.
Undeterred, Taggart filed 3 more petitions on Byrd's behalf, but the U.S. Supreme Court refused to review the case, the last time being on July 14, 1949.
Okay.
So Byrd's last hope was an act of executive clemency from Governor Arthur B. Langley. So we had changed governors in the time.
Okay.
But that governor chose not to interfere with the execution due to the fact that he was not the governor at the time.
Okay.
And that he was like, I don't know the case well enough to be to judge that.
Yes. He also might not agree with.
Yeah, but I think he just wants to uphold what was already done.
Yes.
So on Thursday night, July 14, 1949, Jake Byrd ate his last meal on death row and then talked with his attorney for 2 hours. Byrd told Taggart he could be a good loser as long as he felt everything possible had been done to save his life. Later that night, he was moved to a holding cell near the gallows, where he was shaved and dressed in new clothes. Just after midnight, Byrd walked 10 feet from the cell to the gallows, accompanied by Warden Tom Smith and 2 prison guards. He said nothing to the 125 witnesses.
125 witnesses?
Uh-huh. Who had gathered in the room, but he did mutter a comment to one of the guards. We don't know what that was.
Okay.
But yeah, 125 witnesses.
We're in the actual room?
We're in the viewing room.
In the viewing room. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I want to say it's a viewing room because I don't know how the gallows were set up.
Yeah, I don't either.
I've seen an execution chamber.
Yeah, so have I.
I've never seen a gallows, though.
I have not.
So I want to assume that
I've actually seen an execution room.
I toured one in West Virginia.
So I've actually seen one.
I toured it in West Virginia when I was living in West. I was living in West Virginia. It was kind of
freaky.
Mm-hmm. And I worked with cadavers, but that still freaked me out more than anything.
And freaky.
A volunteer prison chaplain, Reverend Arvid C. Ornell, started to read a note from Byrd declaring he bore no malice towards anyone and sought forgiveness. But before he finished, the trapdoor was sprung, dropping Byrd 5 feet to his death.
That was kind of crappy.
Jake Byrd was hung at 12:20 a.m. on July 15, 1949. His body was taken down 14 minutes later, and prison physician Dr. Elmer Hill pronounced him dead. He was buried in an unmarked grave in the prison cemetery, identified only as convict number 21520. Byrd willed his personal fortune, which was $6.15, to his appeals attorney, Murray Taggart. So
he had no family.
No, he had no family that claimed him, at least.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, although not formally educated, Byrd did gain a modicum of fame as a jailhouse lawyer, often arguing his own case before the court. His knowledge of the law, together with the help of people against the death penalty, enabled him to delay his execution a year and a half. Byrd's case failed to capture the attention of the national press, even though he confessed to committing or being involved in at least 44 murders throughout the country.
I mean, now you can sit on death row for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
You can die of old age or
before you get the
before you die.
Mm-hmm. So, but history at one point marks him as one of the nation's most prolific serial killers. And I'll get into this the thing next. But so in 1991, criminologist Eric W. Hickey, the director of Alien International University Center for Forensic Studies, wrote about how the Byrd case challenges stereotypes of serial killers, who are mostly thought to be Caucasian males, whereas the African American killers typically are associated with urban violence. Hickey wrote, revelations that Jake Byrd, a black man, had actually stalked and killed dozens throughout several states, continues to challenge traditionally held profiles of serial killers.
Yes, because they're not normally black.
No. So then, you remember how his quotes basically saying that all y'all are going to die before me?
Uh-huh.
You got it right. So when one became known, sorry, I have to find the page again. So this little tangent that he had became known as the Jake Byrd Hex.
Oh God.
As mentioned earlier, he declared, all y'all are gonna die before me. 5 men connected with Byrd's trial died within a year.
Wow.
Shall we go through who died?
Sure.
First one, you got Edward D. Hodge, Pierce County Superior Court judge. He died at age 69. He died January 1st, 1948. Got Joseph E. Carpich, the Pierce County Undersheriff, age 46. He died April 5th, 1948. George L. Harrigan, a Pierce County court reporter. He died age 69 on June 11th, 1948. Sherman W. Loynes, the Tacoma police detective lieutenant. He died at age 46 on October 28th, 1948. And then James W. Selden, his defense attorney, died age 76 on November 26, 1948. All of them died from heart attacks.
They'd be old.
A 6th man, Arthur A. Stewart, a Washington State Penitentiary guard assigned to death row, died of pneumonia 2 months before his execution. Okay. They all died of heart attacks.
That guy is way...
And that's known as the Jake Byrd Hex.
He's putting hexes on people.
Kind of like the evil eye.
Yes. I'd be scared of him. I wonder if you got any mail from women wanting to marry him.
You never know.
I don't know. Yes.
Oh. But that is Jake Byrd. That is the case of Jake Byrd. And the Jake Byrd Hex. I purely wanted it because of the fact that he challenged the profiling of serial killers.
Yes.
And also this hex.
There's only 2 other serial killers that I can think of. The one in L.A. That lived in that greenhouse that they found years later. And the other one...
Wasn't the brothers the Night Stalkers black, or were they...
No, they were Hispanic, I believe. And there was that guy that lived in Cleveland that buried bodies in his house or something. Those are the 2 I'm thinking about. But that's all I can think about. Because the African American people are not crazy like white people.
Oh, we got Samuel Little, he was convicted of 8 murders, but was confessed to committing 93 murders between 1970 and 2005.
Yeah, that's the guy in Los Angeles, right?
Yes.
Yep, that's him.
the choke and stroke killer.
Yeah.
And then, interesting enough, I just found one. I kind of am curious now. Roberta Elder, the case of a black woman serial killer.
Never heard that.
Nope. No, it's literally notable. It's Samuel Little, Lonnie David Franklin Jr., and Chester Turner are the three most notable black serial killers.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. I told you white people are crazy.
Oh, because Lonnie David Franklin Jr. was the Grim Sleeper. That was him.
Okay.
He was the California, LA between 1984 and 2007.
Yes.
Oh, and then Chester Turner was also murdered 14 women in Los Angeles between 87 and 1998. He was the South Side Slayer.
Okay.
So all three were notable in Los Angeles.
Yes. I knew all were black, which or African American, whichever prefer, whatever pronunciation you prefer.
And then you had the guy in Atlanta who killed the 5 kids.
Yes.
But it's not common.
No, it's not. Like I said, white people would be crazy.
They'd be very crazy.
Yes.
But that is Jake Bird.
And I do not remember of hearing one ever in Europe. But I know there has to be one.
I can do some digging.
Yeah. So I guess we're done today.
Curious what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious. So I love you, babe. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, love you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.